General rule of thumb on race day, don't change anything, don't try anything new, keep everything consistent from your training.
Just rip the plug out.
So let's get a new bike the day before and race a 40-mile mountain bike race. Doing the Creature from Carvins Cove, Roanoke, Virginia. It's a 44-mile mountain bike race. I just got this bike today, the 2021 Fuel EX. It's a 9.8 XT, Shimano XT. So I'm gonna do this kind of like a race recap and a first look mountain bike review, kind of all in one video. I'll try to talk about a little bit of what I feel on the bike during the ride, if I can catch my breath long enough to do that, and also do normal race coverage and that type of thing. And so like I said, this is the 2021 Fuel EX XT version, so it does have the Shimano XT drivetrain, 4-piston brakes, and so I had the top fuel for this, the 2020 version, not the new one. And so this bike is going to be a little more plush. Top fuel is more of a race style bike. So this has a little more travel, but I did swap the wheels and the tires that were on the top fuel over to this one. And so it actually came out to be only about 5 ounces heavier than the top fuel, which is pretty crazy, considering this one will be quite a bit more capable on the downhills. I'm curious to see how it will ride, because one of my biggest complaints on the top fuel was how harsh the ride was. I know it's set up more as a race bike, but it wasn't quite what I was looking for. This will be just more of a first look, initial thoughts on the bike, since it will be my first ride, even though it's 44 miles. So by the end of it, I should have a pretty good idea. If you just want an in-depth review of this bike itself, you can let me know that in the comments. Race day tomorrow, go hit it. Katie is also joining me again today. So she's doing the beginner women's race, which is a shorter course, 16 miles.
All right. On your mark. Set. Go! Go! Go!
This thing's spread out right from the gun. I'm back here in no man's land. I was not expecting that. Probably come back together once we hit the single track a little bit. So now about 8 miles in, the lead group just took off from the gun. I have not brought any of them back in sight yet. So, whew. Either it's a really fast group, or there's a lot of people going to be hurting in about another 2 hours. Whew. All right, got this steep climb right here. I'm gonna stop talking. All right, well, I just hit a rock, had a flat, plugged one hole, pumped it back up with my 1 CO2, and then another hole appeared, so I had to plug that and didn't have enough CO2 to pump the tire fully back up. So it seems to be holding what little air it's got in it, but that's not much. So I'm gonna try to limp to the aid station, I guess. Huge shout out to Mr. Charles Dye, lent me his pump. He said give it back to him at the end, or if he flats, I'll catch him and give it back to him then. So we're back in business. Just a little behind schedule. That's okay. Moving on. About a 1/10 of a mile up the trail. This other guy was on the side of the road trail with a flat. He was like, did this guy give you a pump? He told me to ask you for it. So the pump of the day is getting passed around. It's funny. This is Lakeside Trail, by the way. almost like a, whew, that wind. Goodness gracious. Coming right down the hauler. There's the cove. No creature sighting. Almost 15 miles done. Tires still holding there for the most part. Hopefully they have spare CO2 up here at the aid station. But I'm about to roll into aid station 1. And I'm gonna climb up there. Bigger than it looks. All right, just stopped in at aid station 1. Now I'm climbing up the trough trail. How are y'all? Thank you, y'all too. All right, just finished the trough climb. Guy at the top gave me an extra CO2, so we're good there. And said I'm only 30 minutes behind the leader, which is a lot, but not terrible for me, and considering flat and all that good stuff. So still in it. Let's go drop this buck trail. Yeehaw. Thank you. Man, these 4-piston brakes will really stop you. Having to kind of let myself up a little bit on them. Ow. Whew. Oh my gosh. This bike is just so much smoother than the top roll. Thank you. Oh, I remember that root being there. Oh man, nothing else. The brakes let you go so much faster, which sounds dumb, but because you can stop sooner, you can carry more speed into a turn because you can scrub it off a lot quicker. I can't wait to take this thing down gauntlet. As long as my rear tire survives, it's gonna be a blast. Wow. This is incredible. Now climbing back up the mountain. This is Heidi Ho. Get to the top and then basically go straight across Fire Road down the gauntlet, which is the highlight downhill of the day, at least for me. This thing is like 2 miles long, 11 or 12% average grade. This is probably the worst climb of the day. At least that's almost done. Let's see if I can make this switchback. Oh yeah, piece of cake. Oh gosh. Phew. Yeah, if this rear tire survives this, I think I'll be okay. I've never gone through that section that fast before. Good night. Oh my gosh. Oh, yikes. Whew. I heard the rear wheel on a couple of those. Whew. Goodness gracious. All right. Systems check. Are we alive? Yep. Damage. Okay, good stuff. It's about as fun as I thought it was gonna be. Man, this bike rips. Good night. Oh, not up this with big gear. Hey, there's the Cove again. Still no creature. Appreciate it. This is one of those where the rough line is not only the fastest, but also the safest. As long as you got some suspension that can soak it up. Went through the last aid station. Now I'm climbing up this trail here to Rattling Run, which is basically just one long rock garden, as you can see out here. Jeez, right off the start. Oh, I hate this trail. I shouldn't hate it, I just need to get better at it, but man, when you're 33 miles into a race, it is not optimal timing to try to do trial skills on your mountain bike. Oh my God, there goes the tire again. Just ripped the plug out. And as the wise Smashimus Mouthimus once said, the hits start coming and they don't stop coming. So for reference, Jeff Lenoski, which is a pro trials rider, came out here and did a video on how to like clear all the obstacles on this trail. So that's how technical this one is. Oh. So he shows you how to be a trail boss. Oh, that's his video series. Oh gosh, I'm gonna fall down the mountain. Hello everybody, I'm not Jeff Lenoski. Today, I'm gonna show you how to be like a trail mailroom clerk for a trail secretary. Trail assistant to the regional manager.
Michael!
Oh boy. God. I mean, this just doesn't even look like a trail. Just finished up Songbird. Now we're on Arrowhead, I guess penultimate trail of the day. This will run out back to the road. And then hit the final trail called Rock and Roll. That'll jump back out on the gravel and roll that back into the finish line. 37 miles in. Ooh, almost 5 hours. Ugh. I guess I'll take it since I wasn't sure I was gonna be able to finish on this flat tire. But it's held up. I'm out of CO2 again, so it's gotta make it the rest of the way on what it's got. Well, the plug just ripped out again. I have no more air to pump it up, so Guess I'm walking at this point. It made it all the way to mile 37. Final trail. Rock and roll. Starts with this little bit of a climb. And it's kind of a long flow trail the rest of the way out. Pretty sweet.
So you may be wondering how I'm actually riding again. I had somebody else stop and lend me their pump, and I was able to replug the tire, fill it back up, and finish out the last 5 miles of the race.
That's a wrap on the creature. Woo. And Katie got 3rd place out of a undisclosed number of participants in her category. So a little recap on the creature race. I did end up finishing, just had to kind of nurse my rear tire the whole time. Plug got pulled out of it twice. I limped in right just under 6 hours. I at least was able to finish the race, which I really didn't think I was going to after that last flat on Arrowhead there. Aside from the flat tire issue, the bike was actually pretty amazing. This thing climbs pretty much as well as the Top Fuel did. The way this is tuned compared to the Top Fuel, it's so much more plush. Taylor, quick, come here. Sorry, dog rolling in deer crap. Anyway, the bike was great other than the flat tire. 5 ounces heavier than the Top Fuel with the same tire setup. Much more capable bike downhill, still climbs basically as well. To me, that's a no-brainer. Obviously, you can get the Top Fuel down lower. Got a few things I'll probably do to it to try to get the weight down just a little bit more, because this is gonna be my, hey Fira. This will be my race bike, my do-it-all bike, because yeah, I can't afford a race bike and a play bike slash trail bike, so this will have to do it all. Plan is to run the 36 fork, bump it up to 150 millimeters of travel, use it as a mini enduro bike because I do want to try some enduro races. And I have a Fox 34, which is a smaller diameter stanchion. This is a 36 millimeter. So the 34 will be a 34 millimeter, obviously. Not as stiff as the 36, but it is substantially lighter, like almost a pound lighter. Looking at a 27.5 pound trail bike. So if I ended up getting a like a lighter weight cross country wheel set in the future, that could almost knock off around another pound. So in theory, I could get this bike down like sub 27 pounds, which is crazy for the capability that it has. Other than that, I felt good all day, so no issues there as far as fitness goes. I think we will leave it here, finish cleaning everything up, keep Taylor out of trouble, and I'll see you guys in the next one.